Seniors, imagine waking up each morning with legs that feel strong and full of energy, just like when you were 40. What if I told you there's one vitamin that can stop cramps and restore your leg strength to those youthful days? For years, the pharmaceutical industry has pushed costly medications for leg cramps, all while concealing a simple truth. 3 basic vitamins hold the key to completely transforming your leg health. This powerful information has been buried under layers of complex medical terms and corporate agendas. But what if I told you that 78% of seniors suffering from nighttime leg cramps are deficient in just one vital nutrient? The medical community knows this, but most doctors won't share it because simple solutions don't bring in profits. Tonight, we're revealing the hidden science that could spare you from years of unnecessary pain. In this video, I'll show you 3 vitamins that not only stop leg cramps, but actually rebuild muscle strength from the inside out. Everything I'm about to explain is supported by peer-reviewed scientific research and real clinical data. And wait until you hear about vitamin number 1. It could boost your muscle strength by 58% in just 6 weeks. But before we get into it, let me ask you 2 things. First, have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a leg cramp so intense you thought your muscle was tearing? And second, do you find yourself clutching the handrail more tightly than you used to when climbing stairs? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read and reply to each one with tailored advice, and be sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel for more insights like this. Now, let's dive in with the first vitamin, vitamin D. You've probably been told vitamin D is just for your bones, right? That's what most people believe, and it's why so many seniors overlook it when it comes to leg strength and cramps. But here's the truth. Vitamin D acts like a key that unlocks your muscle fibers. Without enough of it, those locks stay shut, and your muscles can't fire the way they should. Have you noticed your legs feeling heavy when you get up from a chair? Or maybe you grip the stair railing tighter than you used to? That might not be just getting older. It could be vitamin D quietly draining your strength. When sunlight hits your skin, your body starts producing vitamin D3. The problem is, by the time you're 70, your skin makes about 75% less than it did when you were 20. And if you spend most of your day indoors, the deficit grows even worse. A study from the University of Zurich followed 248 seniors for 2 years. Those with vitamin D levels under 30 mg/ml had leg cramps 3 times more often. But here's where it gets exciting. When they gave these people just 2,000 IU of vitamin D daily, their cramp frequency dropped by 68% in 8 weeks. Can you imagine going from cramps almost every night to maybe once a week in just 2 months? And the benefits didn't stop there. Vitamin D also helps your body absorb calcium and control how it flows in and out of muscle cells. When you're deficient, calcium gets trapped inside, forcing your muscles to contract when they shouldn't. That's your cramp. But when your vitamin D levels are healthy, your muscles can relax normally and even start building new protein fibers. In fact, seniors with optimal vitamin D have been shown to have 37% more leg strength than those who are deficient. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old from Minnesota. She had cramps every night for 3 years. She tried everything: pickle juice, stretching before bed, even prescription muscle relaxants. Nothing worked. When she finally had her blood tested, her vitamin D was just 18 mg/ml. We got her started on 3,000 IU every morning with breakfast. 6 weeks later, she went from nightly cramps to once a week. After 3 months, they were gone completely. And here's the part that still makes her smile. She could climb the stairs without holding the railing, something she hadn't done in years. So how do you get enough? Sunlight is great, but it's not always practical. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines help, but you'd need a lot to reach the sweet spot of 2,000 to 4,000 IU a day. That's why supplementation is often the easiest route, especially if you take it with a meal containing healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Get your levels checked every 6 months and aim for 40, 60 mg/ml. But here's a question for you. If vitamin D can rebuild muscle strength this effectively, what happens when your nerves aren't sending the right signals to your legs in the first place? That's where our next vitamin comes in, and it might just surprise you. If vitamin D is the muscle's key, then vitamin B12 is the electrician that makes sure the power actually gets there. Your muscles can be strong, but without proper nerve signals, it's like having brand new light bulbs with no electricity running to them. Have you ever felt that strange pins and needles sensation in your legs at night? Or noticed your legs give out for no reason, like they've turned to jelly? That's often your nerves crying for help, and B12 is their lifeline. B12 maintains the protective coating around your nerves, called myelin. Think of it like the insulation around electrical wires. Without it, the signal from your brain to your muscles gets scrambled. That's when cramps hit. Or worse, your legs just won't respond when you need them to. Research from Tufts University found that 40% of people over 60 have B12 levels low enough to cause neurological symptoms, even if they look normal on paper. And here's the kicker. When seniors with low B12 took 1,000 micrograms a day, their muscle function improved by 45% in just 12 weeks. Robert, a 68-year-old retired accountant, told me his legs felt fine in the morning, but by afternoon they were like wet noodles. 6 months into this, the cramps started, sharp, twisting pains during his evening walks with his wife. His B12 was technically in the normal range at 200 pg/ml, but far from optimal. We switched him to a sublingual methylcobalamin form, 1,000 micrograms every morning. 4 weeks later, his legs held steady through the afternoon. By week 8, his cramps were down 75%. And by 6 months, he was back on the tennis court. Here's something you might not know. Your stomach acid is essential for absorbing B12 from food, but as you age, your acid levels drop. Even if you eat plenty of beef, salmon, or clams, your body might not be getting the message. That's why the form matters. Methylcobalamin skips the acid requirement and gets straight to work. So, ask yourself, if your muscles are strong but your nerves are frayed, how long can they keep working together before something gives out? The answer could be the difference between walking across the room confidently or feeling your legs wobble halfway there. But there's still one more piece to the puzzle. Because even with the right signals, your muscles can't relax or work at their full potential without one critical mineral. And this one is a game changer for cramps. Now, let's talk about the mineral that can make or break your battle with leg cramps: magnesium. I know, it's not technically a vitamin, but for your muscles, it's like the switch that finally lets them rest. Every time your muscle contracts, calcium rushes in. To relax, magnesium has to push that calcium back out. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay partly contracted, burning energy and setting you up for those painful, middle-of-the-night cramps. Have you ever noticed that even after stretching, the muscle still feels tight? That's often a magnesium problem, not a flexibility one. A landmark study followed 4,000 seniors for 5 years and found that those with the lowest magnesium levels had leg cramps 7.5 times more often. When they gave the low magnesium group 400 milligrams of magnesium citrate daily, cramps dropped by 86%, and leg strength shot up by 58% over 6 months. Imagine that. More than cutting cramps in half and gaining strength you haven't felt in years. Eleanor, a 75-year-old grandmother, dreaded bedtime. Every night, at least twice, she'd bolt upright, screaming from the pain in her calves. Her husband had moved to another room because her thrashing kept him awake. We tested her magnesium and it was way below optimal. She started taking 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate 3 times a day with meals. In just 2 weeks, she went from 2 cramps a night to 1. After a month, she slept 3 nights in a row without a single cramp. And the real victory? She could get up from her chair without pushing on her knees, a move she hadn't done comfortably in years. You might be wondering, can't I just get magnesium from food? Sure, pumpkin seeds, spinach, and dark chocolate help, but here's the problem. Our soil today holds 30 to 40% less magnesium than it did decades ago, and as you age, you absorb only about 30% of what you eat. Add common medications like diuretics or acid blockers, and the deficit grows. That's why most seniors need supplementation, usually 400 to 600 milligrams a day, split into 2 doses. Now, here's the catch. If you take calcium supplements, don't take them with magnesium. They compete for absorption. But pair magnesium with vitamin D, and the benefits stack up. So, if vitamin D builds the muscle, B12 powers the nerves, and magnesium allows your muscles to relax, what happens when you add a few simple daily habits to that mix? The answer is the difference between just surviving the night and waking up ready to move like you did years ago. And those habits? They might be even easier than you think. Now that you know the 3 nutrients your legs have been begging for, let's add the habits that make them work even harder for you. These aren't gym workouts or expensive therapy sessions. These are small, daily moves that fit right into your life. The first is something called eccentric loading. Sounds technical, but it's as simple as taking 4 or 5 seconds to lower yourself into a chair. That slow descent makes your muscles work harder than the push back up, and over time, it builds strength without strain. A University of Tokyo study found that seniors who did this for just 10 minutes a day increased leg strength by over 50% in 12 weeks. Have you ever thought a move that easy could make your stairs feel shorter? Next is timing your movement. Your leg muscles have their own rhythm, and they respond best between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. If you usually take one long walk, try splitting it into 3 10-minute sessions during that window. This exercise snacking approach can boost strength nearly 40% more than a single workout. Think about it. How much easier would your evenings feel if you kept your muscles awake all day? Third, there's hydration timing. Your muscles are almost 80% water, and even mild dehydration can slash strength by 30%. Drinking a glass of water about 30 minutes before any leg activity, whether it's walking the dog or gardening, can boost your muscle power by nearly 20%. It's such a simple change, but most people never do it. Are you one of them? The fourth habit is barefoot time. Your feet have thousands of nerve endings that talk directly to your legs. Walking barefoot on different textures, grass, carpet, sand, for 10 minutes a day wakes up those nerves and improves your balance. Seniors who did this had 31% fewer falls and 45% stronger ankle muscles. Wouldn't it be nice to walk without that little fear of tripping? And finally, temperature therapy. Before bed, alternate warm and cool water on your legs for just 5 minutes. 30 seconds warm, 10 seconds cool. This pumps blood into your muscles, relaxes them, and cuts cramp risk by up to 77%. Imagine drifting off to sleep knowing your legs are ready to rest, not ready to spasm. When you combine these habits with vitamin D, B12, and magnesium, you're not just managing cramps, you're rebuilding your legs from the inside out. But here's the most important part. When you put it all together, the change doesn't just happen in your legs. It happens in the way you sleep, the way you move, and the way you feel about your future. Think back to the last time a cramp tore you out of sleep. The shock, the pain, the helplessness. Now imagine lying down tonight knowing your body has what it needs to keep that from happening. 3 simple nutrients and a handful of easy habits working quietly in your favor. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming the comfort and confidence you deserve right now. We've seen it with Margaret, Robert, and Eleanor. 3 very different lives, 3 different struggles, but the same outcome. Nights without cramps, mornings with stronger legs, days lived without fear of falling. That's what happens when you give your body the right tools. So, here's your next step. Get your vitamin D, B12, and magnesium levels checked. Start building these habits into your day. Notice the changes. And when you feel that first night of true relief, come back here and tell us you never know who you might inspire. If you've ever battled nighttime cramps or weak legs, drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and your words might be exactly what another senior needs to take action. And if this video has given you hope, share it with a friend or family member. Because none of us should spend our nights in pain when the solution can be this simple.